Hello. Welcome, dear souls, to Beyond the Known. My name is Amit Hunjan, the sound alchemist. And I invite you to journey with me beyond the ages of thoughts, beyond the illusions of who we believe we are, into the silent spaces where the soul begins to remember itself. Certainly, for many years, I have lived the life the way the world has always told me to. Chasing goals, building structures, playing roles, until one day, something inside me began to question. Is this really all? Or is there something beyond all this? There was a quiet ache beneath all these noises. A longing not for success, but for the truth. And it was in this longing that the universe began to unravel everything I thought I ever knew. At first, I resisted. I thought awakening would look beautiful, filled with light and serenity. But do you know the truth? It began with darkness, in confusion, in forgetting everything familiar. Suddenly, there were times I felt completely lost, as if the ground beneath me had disappeared, and I was floating between worlds. It was there, in the vast emptiness, that something ancient began to awaken. I also remember moments where energies moved through me without any thoughts, where I would simply place my hands near someone, and a presence, a vast and loving, would flow through me. People would shift, stand, whip, or simply smile. Not because I was doing anything, but because something greater was expressing through me. At first, this was out of my understanding. It felt mysterious, even impossible. But somewhere deep inside me, I knew this wasn't something new. It was remembering of something I had already known. Life became my teacher, silence became my temple, and the ordinary moments became my sacred ground. I began to see not as an abstract concept, but as the language of existence itself. Every moment, every encounter, every challenge was an exchange of vibration. It was an invitation to align more deeply within love. There were also times of deep forgetting, where I felt I had lost every taste of the divine, where I questioned my worth, my path, and even my sanity. Those moments were simply humbling and necessary. Because only when the self crumbles can the soul truly emerge. Through that surrender, I learned one of the deepest truths. Healing is not about fixing. It's about allowing every area to be loved. And that's exactly what my path came to teach me. To have every area loved. To heal. H-E-A-L. Have every area loved. In that love is when I began to remember truly who I was. Not as a healer, not as a teacher, but a space of presence through which healing naturally happens. And this is exactly what gave birth to this work, to this podcast, to Beyond the Known. Beyond the Known is not just a series of conversations. It's actually a field, a living vibration where we will explore the unseen architecture of existence. We will talk about energies, vibrations, awakenings, the dark nights of the soul, and the architecture of remembering who we really are. Beyond the unknown is not a space for those who are seeking quick answers. But certainly, you're most welcome. Who knows? One day things may change. But it's actually for those who are ready to feel, to question, and to remember themselves. What will each episode be? So every episode will be a journey into one aspect of awakening. Some will be raw and human, about losses, fears, and dismantling of identities. Others will be mystical, around sound, healing frequencies, and divine intelligence that move through the creation. But all in all, it will come from the same essence, and that is love. Because everything, every joy, every pain, every silence is leading back to love. When I look back to my path, I see 1,000 fragments that once felt random. But now they are actually forming a pattern. Every fall, every heartbreak, every awakening was guiding me to step into this purpose. I was truly never lost. I was being stripped of every false so that what the eternal would shine through me. And maybe you too have felt the same. That sense that life is preparing you for something that you cannot name yet. Something vast, something sacred, and something to emerge through you. If all this resonate to you, welcome. You are simply home. Because beyond the known is for souls like you, the rememberers, the seekers, and the ones who have walked through fire and still choose love. This is our meeting space, a space where we can breathe together, feel together, and awaken that part of us that the world made us forget. I often say sound is the language of the soul. Before words, before form, there was vibration. And through sound, we return to the original harmony. That's why I called myself the sound alchemist. Not because I create music or I create sound, but because I listen to the spaces between it. The sound beneath all things. So this podcast will carry the same frequencies, the sounds beneath the words, the vibrations between each breath. So as you listen, don't just hear, feel it. Let those words touch the places in you that language cannot reach. Let them awaken the light that has always been waiting inside you. Because this is not just my story. This is our collective remembrance. The remembrance that we were never separate, never broken, never unworthy of divine love. So, this is me, a soul that once forgot and now is remembering. A man who walked through the shadows only to find that they were made of light. And a being learning every day to surrender to that love that has always been guiding me. So, this is why I started this podcast. Because I feel the time has come for many of us to awaken together, to go beyond the surface stories, beyond the mental noise, and to step into the mysteries beyond the known. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. Thank you for remembering. Beautiful souls, if this message resonates with your spirit, if you feel that quiet yes inside you, I humbly request you to join my channel and become a part of this living field of remembrance. Remember, your presence matters here. Together, we will be building a sanctuary of frequencies, a space where awakening is not just a concept, but an experience of love embodied. So please subscribe, join, and let's stay connected, not from obligations, but from the recognition that your soul brought you here for a reason. Because every time we come together in presence, we amplify the vibration of awakening across the planet. May love and light be with you all. Thank you for walking with me through this first chapter of Beyond the Known. Thank you for remembering with me. And this is where our journey begins. I am Amit Hunjan, the Sound Alchemist, and welcome to Beyond the Known. Our journey has just begun.